Hey Internet, welcome to Rob Reviews, where I review a film and play video games at the same time. Today's review is on the film Problemista from 2023. Written and directed by Julio Torres, as well as starring him. It includes Tilda Swinton, RZA, and Isabella Rossellini as the narrator, and you get a couple of famous faces in there, including Greta Lee, who shows up. The IMDb mini capsule says Alejandro is an aspiring toy designer from El Salvador, struggling to bring his unusual ideas to life in New York City. As time runs out on his work visa, a job assisting an erratic art world outcast becomes his only hope to stay in the country. So let's get this review started and start playing a game. Here we go. So full disclosure, I don't really know that the film was helped too much by the trailer. Some people like the trailer. I feel like it lacked a little something, but the movie itself was probably one of the funniest movies I've seen, not just of 2023, but maybe in a long time. And the humor is done in a way that doesn't undercut some of the more emotional aspects of the film. Whereas the problem I always brought up, or the issue I always had with Taika Waititi's films, is something like Thor Ragnarok. We see Thor's whole planet, Asgard, get destroyed, and instead of letting us kind of steep in that sadness that we're feeling, he has to undercut the emotionality of it all with this kind of joke about, you know, whatever he needs to make a joke about. Whereas this film had the humor in there during emotional moments, but it felt organically part of the moment and the emotions going on. The film Problemista, steeped in artistry, is a small film that discusses very large ideas, from the way it deals with labyrinthian bureaucracy that Alejandro has to deal with and go through, to the kind of Byzantine internal machinations of human mental states. It critiques how we think about art, what we consider art, while arguing for the need to create art in the human, and how that's an endless longing that we must ultimately feed. So one thing that this movie addresses indirectly, I feel like, is the need now, or maybe the evolution of cinema. Cinema's always had different uses, from, you know, the small intimate stories and then these large grand scale experiences. And with the way that prestige television is going, with its use of cinematic language and its ability to have giant budgets and having a venue which is home streaming, it's kind of left film in a little bit of a lurch, where films become either overstuffed, like this latest Ghostbusters film, and it can't really give us a satisfying experience, whether that's with characters or even events. I think the argument is being made that cinema needs to become more focused, and focus maybe a little bit more on smaller stories. Or at the very least, limiting, you know, the insane amount of characters that we have to try and work with all the time. But as far as what this film actually has to say about things, again, easily one of the funniest films I've seen in a minute, and part of the humor comes not only from the situation, but from the characters, as well as Tilda Swinton's kind of, I don't want to say like overly affected, it's kind of an accent that comes and goes, but her performance in general is just beyond hilarious. She's abrasive and abusive, not a very nice person, and yet to some degree, along with Alejandro, we're kind of rooting for her. So the story stems from Alejandro trying to work in a service that is cryogenics for artists. And I'm not going to try and give too much of the story away, but Riza plays a artist who is undergoing this procedure of freezing himself until he can find a cure for what's wrong with him. The thing of it is, the art in the film, I wouldn't say is what people would call extraordinary, and I really feel like that works to the benefit of the film, because you're not sitting here thinking like, oh, this is like impossible art made by these incredible people that I'll never aspire to. That's not the point of it. The point is that art is a part of being human, and that creation is more important than what you create, I think, to some degree. Part of Tilda Swinton's performance is that I wholeheartedly believe her. I believe when she says things in the film, her character, I believe her and I believe her character. And it's incredibly wild. So Tilda Swinton is trying to keep the artistry and the frozen body of Bobby intact while being financially hamstrung. Meanwhile, Alejandro ends up losing a job and he kind of needs a sponsor. In fact, they explain how labyrinthian, how impossibly Byzantinian, sorry, I'm using all these dumb terms, but the impossible goal that he has to keep together. Basically, he has to get a visa to get a job, but he needs a job to pay for the visa, but he can't have a job without the visa. And so here we find ourselves in the impossible process of legalized immigration that everybody thinks, oh, all you need to do is just do that. Just follow the rule. Do it the legal, go the legal routes. He also shows in a couple scenes how impossibly expensive it is to be in poverty. Poverty is a very expensive experience. And that was also incredibly, while frustrating and understandable. So Julio Torres, who wrote and directed this, plays Alejandro, which is our main character. He's also very believable in his, I don't know, kind of soft affectation about how he has to navigate these impossible systems with their illogical rules and ideas that they I didn't think I was gonna make that. It's not a big film. This was put out by A24, and I can't imagine that the budget was very big. In fact, the marketing budget has been pretty small. I think the only way that I heard about it was because I was in another kind of artsy film at the theater, and the trailer played. And again, it wasn't huge on the portrayal of the story and the characters in the trailer that I saw. Certainly did not know this was going to be as funny as it was, and it absolutely was hilarious. And the way that it presents art and kind of speaks about art has a lot of that going on. I wrote, it's a rollicking adventure where the refuse of New York City almost plays a character and has as much to say as the dialogue between the characters. Problemista isn't about dreaming big in the way that we think dreams should be about ruling the world, but more about the longing that should eclipse the idea of the dream. That the longing of the dream is bigger than the dream itself. And it's really good at portraying that, because you might see some of the stuff or how it's based around this idea, what Alejandro wants more than anything in the world, to which we may, as an audience and people who consume tons of media, art, content, whatever you want to call it, and how that may seem almost unimpressive to us because of the way that we've been taught by society and critics what is art, what art should be. So at the end of the day, I would highly recommend this picture. It was one of the best times I've had in the theater in a long time, and I can't wait to watch this movie again. And I also look forward to what Torres has up his sleeve should he get the chance to do another thing. I don't imagine this is going to do extremely well. It's a smaller film. Again, the marketing budget seems to be almost non-existent as far as I can tell. I have not seen a single ad on TV or streaming, but I certainly don't think that should stop you from checking it out. I think you should take the time to see this, whether you see it in the theater or you see it on streaming when it comes out. That's what I gotta say about that. It's a pretty fantastic film and easily one of the best I've seen in theaters in a good long minute. So check it out, Problemista 2023. Where'd they go? I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this game. Thanks for hanging out. You can check out the live streams of Rob's Not Playing at twitch.tv/holidayrob. You can check out the other reviews I do over at MEDIAIKONZ, which is on YouTube. And hopefully we'll see you again next time for another review. It's not going well. One grab. Come on, run! Oh my god, run. Did I survive that, huh? I'm gonna survive long if I can't get over here. Ooh, we're gonna get out of here in a second. My NPC is gone. No, man. The lack of movement sometimes is just... I'm surprised I'm playing with this skin. I usually don't play with this skin. It's coming for me. The storm is coming. Oh, sheesh. Come on, bro. Sheesh, just stay upright. That's all you gotta do. Nothing? A whole lot of shotgun shells, cool. At least there's a car out there so I can get moving again. Dude, just any life anywhere would be cool. Anything. Fruit. Freaking anything. See how this is going. Top 4 though, I mean, you know, can't be too mad, I guess. Oh, look at that. Somebody lost Okay, stop skipping, please. Sheesh. life. We're gonna move? Come on, go forward. Damn. This thing does not move at all. No movement at all. Just stuck in the same place all the time. Man, server issues. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Peace.